All right. You know about what you are saying about that. We have the opportunity to hear one of your CEOs in the university, Uri Levin.
Yeah.
Right? And he always talk about not to focus on a solution. And you said it just now. You have to go all the way to focus on a problem, to find a problem, and that it will become. If you can't solve that
problem leads to a product. Yeah.
Exactly.
So exactly, Uri Levin fell in love with the problem of traffic jams.
Exactly.
Yeah. And a traffic jam is a huge problem that needs a solution.
Yes.
And a problem that has a huge market.
Yes.
So, or what I've described you before, to recognize with your phone, to recognize smells or products.
Exactly.
So this is something that has a huge market. And this is another example. So I think the most important thing is to recognize the problem, as Uri Levin says, and to know that if there is a market.
You talk about that go with mentors or go with experts. There's also something else it has to be, because if I go with a mentor and I have an idea and the mentor sees it and says, no, that cannot be done, it has to be changed, or what's happening? You already talk about
fail. It cannot be done. It's not an answer.
All right.
If it cannot be done, you as a startup, you have to try to convince him that it can be done, or talk to another person. If several persons tell you that it cannot be done because they can prove you technologically that it doesn't work, then, but if you have an idea that, a concrete idea based on some calculation or algorithm that it can be done, then maybe it can be done.
In your life, you have been an engineer, you have been a researcher, you are in the university for some time. Has you have any experience of things you thought that maybe won't be working, that won't be useful, or I don't know, that you have an idea and say, maybe I won't do it, maybe yes, and then it became a success?
A success?
That's something you thought it won't be, or somebody told you, nah, don't do that. That's not for you.
I have to think. It doesn't come in a second. I have to
think.
I have to think, because I'm sure there are such ideas. I have to think if they are.
Right.
Maybe during the talk I will remember in a second.
And during these years, what is your most successful idea that has become done in the university or with you or creating by?
So the most successful idea that came out of our university or faculty is the disk on key, the USB drive,
All right, the USB came out from the university?
From our faculty.
All right.
Professor Simon Litzin from the School of Electrical Engineering. So he developed the algorithm that the disk on key, the mathematical algorithm that the disk on key is based on. Not the hardware, but the algorithm. So, and this idea brought a lot of money and a lot of royalties to our faculty. The second one another very successful idea is one of our professors had developed the cameras for the cellular phones. One of the first one. An idea that started in the 80s, or the 70s. It was the barcode, the optical barcode that you see on every.
Yes.
So this was developed by one of our professors many years ago.
That's very. There are three things that you use every day. Yeah. I don't know anybody that doesn't use an USB.
A USB or
a camera in the cell phone. So, now it's the most important thing in a cell phone for many people is
the camera.
The camera, or how many pixels has the camera. Now a camera has more pixels than a camera.
Than this one.
Than this one, yes. Yeah. And it has, and the selfies, there are two products that are more, the ones that are more on the internet. One is selfies, and one is food photos. So that's because everybody has a camera in their hands, and that's an idea of the university.
So another notable achievement is the anti. This is two very important defense-related ideas that also came apart from the Iron Dome. The leader of the Iron Dome project
It's from the university.
It's from our faculty.
Yes.
He made his
Also
three
from the
degrees
faculty, all right.
from the faculty, Dr. Danny Gold. But another two very important idea is an anti-missile system for civilian aircraft. You know that
Yes.
it's not well known, but all the Israeli civilian aircrafts are equipped with an anti-missile system.
All right. I didn't know that.
Anti-missile that for shoulder missiles, you know, the terrorists have shoulder missiles that
Yes.
can shoot from a very short range to the airplane, and these shoulder missiles are they see the heat
Of the airplane, yes.
of the airplane, and they follow the heat. This is an infrared. They have an infrared detector.
Yes.
The heat is an infrared, and they follow the infrared. So what was invented in our faculty, it's a professor from electrical engineering, is an infrared laser that is installed on the airplane, on the back of the airplane, and the beam of the laser just mislead the missile. So, you know, rasters in a special way that the missile immediately is being shot and being lost.
All right.
This is a very important.
That's very important because I
this
never
is
thought about it.
This
It's
is a
all-
product. This
All
is
right.
a commercial product that is called.
I know many countries that would love to have it now.
And I'm sure other companies. So how does it? I forgot the name, but it has a
No
name. Music. I think that the product is called Music or something.
Right.
And it's installed. It was developed by Elbit, a very well-known, very big, maybe the biggest security company in Israel. And again, the laser, the infrared laser, was developed in one of our labs. So the beauty, I think the beauty of university research, apart from what I said, is that you have the freedom to research whatever you want, and you don't know what it will lead to.
All right.
But some unknown or unexpected product can come based on your development. This is the beauty of basic research, and I want to emphasize it, that we have to support also basic research, which
All right.
will lead you to unknown developments and unexpected developments just based on the basic research. This is very important.
That's very important
to
because
remember.
you have an idea, you research about that, and maybe we'll find something else.
Yeah.
Or you say, if I mix
Because
this,
one-
if I mix with this, I don't know what it's going to
You
happen.
start
But it's
like this, and along the way, the basic research that you started lead to something completely unexpected.
But that's important because in many other countries they don't do that
This
because
is the
it costs
beauty of basic research.
Exactly.
This is
It costs
the
too
beauty.
much. It costs too much because it doesn't have a result. You cannot
and-
see this result immediately, or maybe you won't see it
And this
in
is
some years
another
ago.
reason why we insist in our faculty and also in many universities in Israel to focus on very high-level basic studies in the beginning.
All right.
Very high-level math and very high-level physics to give you the very strong basis that can, used on this basis, you can study everything yourself.
All right.
So we devote the first 2 years to give them a very strong background in mathematics and physics, and then they can do everything themselves. You know, not to teach them to be an autonomous car engineer. This is not our target.
All right.
Because what happens now, the professions change every 2 or 3 years. The industry changes. So
Yes.
the students that start Tel Aviv University now, they don't know what will be the jobs when they graduate.
That's what something I
the
was
jobs will be
asking.
completely new.
Exactly.
So we have to give them the most basic education to teach them how to learn, or to teach them how to teach themselves. This is the idea.
Yes, because now today, with all the engineers, with all the internet, with all of that,
You can
ma-
a lot see.
you know, my career is learning how to play, I don't know, cello without being with a master.
Yeah.
She's looking at YouTube and she's learning that.
Yeah.
So now they are ahead of the teacher. Now when you're in a class, now it's more complicated because the professor comes to a class and says, you know, the sky is blue, Somebody can stand up with their cell phone and say, no, the sky is not blue. It's just a reflection because the sky is, here it says in Google, I don't know, in Wikipedia. It doesn't have to. But now the students know more than a...
Exactly. So we don't have to pass them, to transfer the information because it's on the internet. The information is everywhere. We have to teach them how to think, to teach them how to solve problems, not to be afraid of problems. And this is also some of the philosophy in the Israeli army or in the Israeli life. When they close the door, when they close you the door, you will come through the window. If they close the window, you come not too afraid to fail, and to try and to try and to try until you succeed. Not everybody succeeds, but don't be afraid to fail.